Right, and good evening, everyone. It's a warm welcome from me in this nice summer weather. So wherever you're watching in the world, welcome to FTR. This is Premier Division Round 2, and we are in Italy. So buonasera to everyone out there that's Italian. It is Round 2 in Premier Division. Last week we had the first race, which was Japan. A sprint weekend or a sprint night for Premier Division as well as for Division 2. So tonight we've got 11 drivers. Hopefully a couple of guys will join just after 8 as load shedding gets done and dusted in some areas, and then some guys affecting at 10, but we'll be wrapped up by 10 o'clock. So yeah, lots of sport to watch out for. So you've got Premier Division tonight. Tomorrow night you've got Division 2. And then it's a whole weekend of World Cup Rugby and World Cup Cricket, so and Formula 1. So if you're planning on mowing the lawn, cut that out. There's too much sport waiting you. That's if you have DSTV or any streaming device, not SABC. That's not going to work for you. But yeah, it is a full qualifying session, so 16 minutes in Q1. You'll see a lot of guys. I think just want to set a lap time, and hopefully they will do, so we can move on to Q2. We're not going to lose anyone tonight, so we'll be back to losing someone again in Q2. That's if no one puts it into the barriers, which hopefully they won't. But this is season 12. This is the season just before Christmas, so ho 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 to everyone. And Royal Viking saying, "What's up, James? Good luck, drivers." Yeah, it's a thin attendance lobby tonight, but nevertheless, hopefully there will be excitement for me to get all excited about. And yeah, let's get on board with Sacred as he tackles Imola. It's a DRS zone on the main straight, and it's a hard braking into this sector, and it's all about staying on top of Sacred Mountain. But yeah, don't get too much on the curve. We don't want to do that. Ooh, almost too wide there. And as we go into the second section, trees a bit shady in the background there, so makes it a bit difficult to get your turn in right. But this looks all good so far. Got the sector bridge, surprise, surprise, but it's the first lap. That will change as we head off into the session. Let's see how he flips it. Yeah, gets a nice turn in. Rear tends to step out slightly. This is probably the most difficult corner on in Imola, and the rear will try to complain as the amount of G-force put onto the rear tires. But nevertheless, good from Sacred. Jumps the curves quite aggressively. I'm not sure if you want to do that in the race. But this is all good. Back marker or a slow car in the way, but gets out of the way nicely. And then it's only 2 corners left before you get the DRS assisted straight. Runs very wide there. Didn't get over the turn in that he wants. Let's see what he gets. There we go, 116.1. So that's the benchmark for everyone at the moment. Imi in the beautiful Aston Martin. And Imi on the mediums. So Imi and Nick both on the mediums. So they're deciding purple sector for Imi. Less curves for Imi than what we've seen with Sacred. So they're trying to maybe just not the car set up to jump the curves that aggressively. But we know Imi is fast, and his teammate Zadi is not around tonight, so only Imi and Aston Martin. So I'll take you a little bit late. Runs a bit too wide there, and yeah, so you're gonna have to cool it down. Luckily that's medium, so there will be definitely another lap in it. Maybe the next lap it will be slightly have more grip, so that's kind of it. Shakes in sector 3 at the moment, so let's see if Shake can get to the 2 penultimate corners without invalidating. So just wait for some support, hangs it in, let it dry. Yeah, that's nice. Flirting with the traction on the right hand side. Very close to the barrier, and that's going to be 115.251. So a good lap there by the Shakes. Nick Gishin is on a lap on the mediums in the Mercedes. It's weird to see Nick Gishin in the Mercedes. I think, except for Alpha Tauri and Red Bull, this is probably the first time I've seen Nick in a different car. So, well done, Nicky boy. Your helmet needs a bit of work there, my man. Purple sector for Nick, but he's backed out of it. So obviously he had some kind of mistake somewhere. So he's backed out of it. Shane, who's had a PSN change, so we're going to have to get that updated. Shane Terra. Shane if you ever take a break in between and have a cigarette or have a coffee, tell me what all the terror is about. Give me a shout out on YouTube if you can. Panda saying the cars are too loud. Yeah, I thought as much. So let's get that done and dusted. Right, so let's see if that's slightly better. So, Johan, just give me a shout and tell me if that's slightly better. My teammate for the season, who gave me a good rubbing on the backside last week. Sure, you can laugh at it now. Wasn't too funny then. But yeah, Shay, Sergeant Pan, my teammate for season 12 in the Aston Martin, the beautiful Aston Martin. Let's just say that. That's better. Here we go. So, I bet you that's probably said last week when you drove into the backside of me. Maybe not, that's better. Maybe that was on. Get your freak on. So we got a bit of a freak on last week with the Aston Martins, which was fun. But a good race nevertheless by everyone in Division 2. J-Boy winning the sprint race, and I think the main race, haven't been really checking things out. I can't remember really who won the main event. I know J-Boy won the sprint, but I can't remember. Yeah, short-term memory loss comes with age and kids and wife. Right, there we go. Nick Ishan, purple sector again. So that looks much better from Nick. I'm going to get on board again just to make sure that my sound's a bit better. And I've been doing comms for other leagues, so different settings, different strokes for different folks, I guess. So let's see where this is going to drop to. This looks really good. Mercedes looks really hooked up. Lots of fun in there from Nick. And yeah, that's a mega time. A 1:15.643 on the mediums. What a mega lap by him. So on the board, also without a teammate tonight. Not sure if Arno is going to join a bit later. But it's a sole Mercedes fighting the battle. Two Alpines and Shakes and Shane, so they're all good represented, as well as the McLarens of Zero and Boinkies. Ronald currently needs to set a lap time. And as I say that, he pops into fifth with a 1:17.815. The two Hasses is also around, Sacred and Super D. Only for one Ferrari, Torman Kills. I'm not sure. Bob should join, I think, during qualifying, so that will be two Ferraris. And then one AlphaTauri, and then we've got the sole Red Bull of Josh. Yeah, so that's all good. So Sergeant Banner saying, sorry, it was Morsig. I tell you what, it's been hectic for me in real life, so I haven't. I've spent zero time on PlayStation, which is quite sad. But I thought I would just sit behind J-Boy last week, and Panda obviously thought he would sit closer to me. So that was really funny. I wasn't even angry. It was just like one of those things. And it is your teammate, so stuff like that happens. That was not team orders, Panda. I hope it was. You tested your wing durability. Well, your wing looked fine. It was my underfloor that was completely screwed. So we must maybe make the floor out of the wings. That will be better. So Emmy is on another lap here. Everyone has set a lap time, so hopefully they'll retire so we can move on. Depending on how long Panda's going to keep me company on YouTube, because this might get a long night for me. But yeah, some good form showed by the guys. And I'm going to take you a little bit. Ooh, and invalidates again. So it looks like the Aston doesn't have a lot of front end. I haven't checked top speed yet on the main on the main straight really. So yeah, let's have a look. Oh yeah, so Stoffel won. Yeah, there we go. So Chris won the main race. There we go. Happy days. Yeah. I thought my pedals was giving up last week because I was just going nowhere slowly, like literally Jamie Oliver style, and ran out of fuel. And when I started, really, I mean, it was a bad night, obviously, with the incident with Panda, and then ran out of fuel, and I sort of like got upset with myself, and then I saw everyone else is running out of fuel, so don't underfuel, or actually, just be very careful with fuel with no safety cars, because you will run out of fuel, and I really think that's something that they need to bring back in the game. I think in 2019 and 2020 in F1 we had the fuel selection, we can go into lean mode during the race. They really need to bring that back, because I mean, we always hear about fuel management in real F1, so they can really bring that back, so so we don't run out of fuel. But nevertheless, it was an eventful week last week, so let me just run you through quickly what happened last week. If you did miss round one, of Premier Division Season 12. Let me just take you through what happened last week. There was no stream, unfortunately. I worked late and it was load shedding, and everything is just shedding at the moment in South Africa. So it's quite tough at the moment, but nevertheless. So let's just go to the sprint. So a good win for Negishan in the sprint. Super D in second with Imi in third. Bob got into fourth in the sprint, and the main race was won by Bob. Shakes in second and Royal Viking in third. Good to see some consistent results from Shakes coming through. It's really good for him. He really battled with form last season. And in terms of your driver standings after round one, yeah, because there was a sprint, so a bit more points up to grab. It is Bob leading the championship at the moment. With 10 points from Shakes, and then Royal Viking, Imi Alonso, and then our reigning world champion, Negishan from season 11. He's currently in 5th on 22 points, so not too far off. And then in terms of the constructors, and I always like to look at constructors, maybe not as close as what Panda would like. Yeah, so let's have a look. So Ferrari is currently leading the constructors championship with Alpine, and then Alfa Romeo. So yeah, it's going to be a tight battle. Ferraris, let's just have a look. Excuse me. So only one Ferrari tonight, so that might just hurt them slightly. Both Alpines here tonight, and no Alfa Romeo. So good time for the rest of the guys, the Aston Martin, Mercedes, and the Haas guys. Both Haas's here tonight. Try to catch up slightly. Yeah, they might make some inroads into. Look, it's still early days. Singapore. Right, so some guys are battling to get in, but that will probably be, yeah, they're probably going to have to wait for the next qualifying session, unfortunately. I'm not sure what this game's all about. But at the moment, yeah, Josh setting the fastest lap time at 1:14.728 from Shakes from Imi. Yeah, so there is, yep, so Big D is just asking about PSN issues. I know there is PSN issues around. PSN is bringing another update again. I'm going to try to fire out invites, so apologies if I break the stream quickly. You'll still hear me in the background, but I'm just going to try to get the guys back in again. I'm going to try to get Arno in, and I'm going to try to get Bob in as well, so we can make sure. Maybe Bob must just be online. That would be good if he is. So let's just send him a second invite so we can just make sure that we try to get these guys in. So they will start from the back of the grid, but that's all good. Plenty of pace in those two drivers to work their way up to the field. So invites sent to the guys. Hopefully they'll be able to join. So yeah, back with our broadcast. And there we go, guys are slowly retiring, so that's good. So yeah, so these are standings at the moment for Prem Division. And like I said, it's nothing to go by yet. Only one race gone so far. Yeah. All right, and then Shane got back to me. Thanks, Shane. He says it's for Terra Esports. So he joined a small esports team. So great stuff, bud. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. So if anyone wondered what is the new Terra, what's behind the story with Shane, it's because of the team that he joined. So yeah, great stuff. Alright, so let's just go back. So yeah, everyone, I'm just going to run through the comments here again. So South Japan is saying, kids, yeah, you need to keep them on a leash, mate. That's the only way. And yeah, your fuel could run out. Yeah, that's it's a myth. Yeah, it's a Blindersambok getting you there for driving my whole gearbox into the front of my nose of my Aston. And yeah, I also didn't underfuel. I actually overfueled for that race and still ran out of fuel. So was fun, nevertheless. So tomorrow night, Imola. This is dynamic weather, so if any of the drivers can get back to me, maybe to let me know what fuel is going to look like in the next couple of sessions, that will be great. So a couple, if you are new to FTR and you're watching, except for Panda's keeping me cunty. Thanks, Jan. We've got a couple of sprint races during the season. So we normally got 3 sprint races and 4 dynamic weather races. They're not the same, so we won't have both on the same, as Josh goes faster with a 1:14.4. So there is 3 sprint races, 4 dynamic weather races, That is 7 out of the 10, and then the other 3 is just normal racing. So I can't remember out of the top of my head, but I know that Imola is one of our dynamic races. As far as I know, Mexico is definitely one. I think the other one might be Brazil. Yeah, and then a couple of new tracks this season as well on the calendar for us. So we'll head off to Miami and we'll get hold of Qatar. So looking forward to the season. Also getting close to Christmas, so that's going to be pretty cool. Right, so I'm going to take a short break as the drivers just, I think, Tormund Kills is on a lap, so I'm just going to stick with him while I take a short coffee break. And then hopefully I can run you through the standings of qualifying 1. Right, so 22 seconds left in qualifying 1. It is Tormund that's got a purple sector. So let's see what his sector 2 holds for him. It probably looks nice and hooked up. So nice and tidy there from Tormund. Rear didn't step out, so that looks nice and tidy. Don't try to take too much out of this because you might just taking a lot of inside curve, which you can. That's probably the curve that you can ride the most. And then the most favorite spot to basically invalidate your lap is around this corner here. If you run slightly wide, which Tormund doesn't do, and then hug it on the inside, you can climb the curve a little bit here. They're very lenient on track conditions there, which is great to see. And Tormund's going to cross the line. Yeah, he's just going to float over just to get a lap time, and it looks like a 7 for him. So, yeah, good call by me. So well rested for me. It's been a while in the comms box, so there we go. So let me just run you through the standings. Josh from Shakes, from Imi, from Nick on the mediums, the same as Super D in the 9th, but don't take anything too much from these times because there was no pressure from the guys and they didn't have to really push. So it's on to Q2. We will lose depending on who's joined. So I've sent Arno an invite and I've also sent Bob an invite. So let's just hopefully see. I don't think they'll take part in qualifying, but they'll definitely be part of the race. So hopefully that will come through. So there we go. 11 drivers. We're going to lose one. Who's going to be that one who doesn't go through? That I always dreaded this because I did not want to be the one that does not go through. So we'll see who's going to be. Let me know in the comment section if you are watching who. And I know it's a bad thing to say. It's not that we are saying anyone is slow. No one in Premier Division is slow, according to me. But yeah, let me know who you think might be at risk for Q3 or Q2 elimination, and then we'll head off to Q3 for the shootout. So hopefully someone can let me know what the weather is doing. This is dynamic weather for tonight, and yeah, let's just get telemetry up again so we can see who's on what tire. Everyone should be on soft. I don't think anyone's going to bargain on the mediums right now. So Shane, this new PSN ID is out on track in the Alpine. Hopefully he wouldn't get excited as Gasly did a couple of weekends ago with Ocon. So everyone on the softs at the moment. So a couple of guys going out. Couture Levy is also on an out lap, so we'll try to stick with him a bit. Imi is also on a lap. Aston Martin, they couldn't do much tweaks. Could have probably added some front wing for that. Shane is out. I'm not sure what happened to Shane. Did he was not on the flyer, was he? But yeah, that's the Alpine. So you don't have to answer me anymore. Shane is out of Q2. Yeah, and that's unfortunate for him. So he's going to have to start all the way in 11th, depending on what happens in front of him. But so far, 11th is going to be where he starts. He's probably going to have 2 or 3 drivers just behind him on the grid. Hopefully, guys will join Arno. Might hopefully join the same as Bob. And we can get a couple of guys more in the race. And yeah. So Couture Levy is out at an out lap. So is Imi. A lot of guys sitting in the pits. I think they're waiting for track conditions to improve. Lay down a little bit more rubber. So we're just going to stick with the AlphaTauri of Couture Levy and see how he gets on his first flyer in Q2. This will set the benchmark for the guys. And yeah, let's get on board with him just through Sector 1, because it is a sweeping section, and if you nail it, it is really one of the most satisfying ones. I've been getting nicely out of the way. And that's the Alpine of Shakes. So stays in fifth. Ooh, a lot of, yeah, that's what happens if you probably, it's so difficult to get the right gear there, and he's probably going to back out of this. Is he? Yeah, it looks like he's going to back out of it, so he's not going to try to carry on that. Shane, we know, retired from the session, so Shakes is on a out lap at the moment. Imi is on a flyer. So let's get on board with the Aston and see if there's, once again, invalidates. And it's just like there's not enough front end on this Aston to make the corner, so I'm not sure if it's a setup issue or maybe just a pushing issue, but Imi not finding the grip in the front of this Aston Martin to actually get himself hooked up. This is the second time he's invalidated the key lap for him. If you remember correctly, he did the same in Q1, so he's going to have to start all over again. And get to a Levy. Yeah, so he ran wide. I think he bailed out of that lap. Shane, we know. Shakes is on a out lap as well. So a couple of guys still in the pit. Super D, Nigishan, Josh and Boinkies, definitely waiting for track conditions. And Couture Levy 116.8. Yeah, he will definitely improve on that. We saw 114s earlier, so expect some improvement from him. And we'll try to pick our driver that we're going to stick with, Imi. He's currently in Sector 1. So let's see if this Aston has got a bit more front end. Maybe he's just trying to be a bit too aggressive around these corners. Let's see if he can find a bit more grip. That looks better, nice and tidy. So let's see what the rear does in this part of the track. So rear stays nice and close to the ground. So that looks all dandy. And this is where the Aston tends to understeer. And if you can see there, stays, yeah, gets off the throttle again. So limited of running wide there. And let's have a look at the turn in here. That turn in looks really good from the Aston. So it's only around the left-hander, long left-hander, that the Aston seems to be struggling. But this looks really good. Very good Sector 2 from Imi. So might just be that corner, might just be a bit of front suspension. But yeah, you can't tweak anything now because you're in qualifying. So it is park firmer. And you can't do anything as Couture Levy goes fastest with a 1:15.443 and Imi a 1:15.7. So a good lap time there by Imi. Shakes currently on a lap. We know Shakes is very fast, and yeah, if he can put it together, he's mega normally. So let's have a look and see where Shakes is going to slot him in the first round. There we go, 1:14.850. So that's good enough so far. For front row, but this is only qualifying 2, so we're not in Q3 yet. Let's see Nikishan. Much better turn in by the Mercedes here, so let's see what the rear does through this section. Looks really stable from Nick, so Mercedes really looks like a hooked up car. I think with full fuel this Mercedes is going to be really powerful. Oh, don't run too what. Oh. Yeah, and that, there we go, a slight lose of the rear, too much curb, unsettling the car at the bottom, and just bottoming out, and that's what caused it. So Shake's still on top with Couture Levy, Imi. But yeah, Nick's going to finish this lap because he needs to get a lap time up. Is he? No, he's got enough soft, so remember he used a set of mediums. So he's going to abort that lap, and he's going to try all over again. Boinkies, And I keep on missing his... let's just get with Boinkies here. He's currently in Sector 2. And... that looks also good. Oh, invalidates. And that corner seems to be the problem child at the moment for the drivers. So Boinkies invalidated that. Sacred 129. Yeah, he's almost a second up. So let's see what the Haas driver can pick up here. His teammate Super D currently in 6th position. So Sacred aiming obviously for that 115, 114 barrier. That looks also good, so it didn't step too badly out of shape there. Get your braking. Oh, this looks good. That looked really good. That's probably the best I've seen a car behave to that section. So, and it takes a lot of curb on the first one, which wasn't expected. I would expect the guys to take a bit more on the second one. But nevertheless, the house seems to be nice and stable around curves. Gets nicely on the throttle. Really gentle on the throttle there by Sacred, and this is going to be yeah, I'm not sure what's happened there with him, but alright, so let's just see where Alpha's on a lap. 0 to Cool. Here we go, my teammate from last season. Let's see where Hanku starts himself in. A different car also for Hanku. It's the first time I think that he's in a McLaren since he's been with FTR, so I haven't seen him in a McLaren before in all 12 seasons that we've had. And you can see that he's really pushy. So let's see if he's got the same understeer issue going into this left hand. It doesn't look like it. No, gets on the power nice and early, and that looks really handy from him. Oh, unstable of the car there slightly on the McLaren, so it's going to cost him a couple of tenths. Let's see, also takes a lot of curve on the first one. Rides the curve nicely on the exit, which might lose you a bit of traction, so that might be a half a tenth or so. Shakes a 114.8 still on top, and as I say that, Josh goes fastest with a 114.3. But yeah, all eyes are on 0 at the moment. He hasn't set a lap time, the same as Negation and Super D. And yeah, there we go, 0 to Cool, a 114.873. Good lap time by Hanku. And let's just see, so Torment Kill still needs to set a lap time, so Super D and Negation all out on track on outlaps. And we'll see. Let's get on board with Negation, our reigning world champion from season 11, the only driver to have won a Drivers' Championship in Division 2 and in Prem Division. So history-making young man this. And green flag, so someone just went probably slightly slow. Tell you what, this Mercedes just looks hooked up. A really good Sector 1, and let's see if this is going to be purple for Nick, because that really looked hooked up for me. Maybe carrying a little bit more wing than the guys around him, but on fuel, that's going to be really good for him. And no understeer whatsoever. Pins his braking down. Good rotation in the car. Gets on the throttle nice and early, and yeah, this is going to be a purple Sector 2 for him. It really looked quick through there. Once again, he doesn't get the wobble that he had earlier, and a couple of cars in front of him, so they need to get out of the way very quickly. Giving him a bit of a tow here. I'm not sure if this yeah, McLaren getting out of the way nicely there. So we'll see where this is going to leave Nick. Currently in 10th, no lap time for him. Is this going to threaten the top 3? Not quite. 115.105 by him. Imi is invalidated again on the Aston Martin. So Torment Kill still in the pit. Super D out on the lap. So that's a purple Sector 1 for him. And we'll follow him around the lap to see if he can line up a couple of more purples. But at the moment, you don't have to really push. Shane being out of qualifying, so all drivers will go through. So you don't need to bin it anywhere. You don't need any heroics, but it is good. And there we go. Bob's eventually joined the session, so that's going to be one driver extra. So that's going to be 12 for us, and hopefully we can have someone else joining. It will take us to 13. But yeah, this looks like a mega lap from Super D in the house. So it's good to see the house guys up there. Sacred at the moment in 8th, but yeah, everyone will go through. And this is definitely going to threaten the top three, I think. Yes, it does. It's a second for Super D, a 114.694. 2 tenths, just over 2 tenths, 3 tenths off. Josh at the moment. But yeah, it looks like everyone has had a lap time. So Imi still battling around, trying to get big moment for the Aston, and that Aston really looks like a handful tonight. Josh goes faster again with a 1:14.24 of 2:58. It's more or less what we saw in qualifying one. So sticking to his times, showing that he's very consistent on one lap pace. But the Aston does look like a handful tonight, and hopefully that's not going to be the case tomorrow night for Division 2, because then it's going to be a tough race for me and for Panda. So hopefully. The guys are slowly going to start setting their lap times, and yeah, Tormund Kills is eventually out on track. It's got a nice helmet there to the Ferrari, so he's currently on track. And hopefully he can get a lap time up quickly, get into the pits, retire, so we can score a couple of seconds so we can move on. But it is currently Josh who shows his form, showed his form in Q1, replicate that in Q2, followed by Super D, Shake, Zero, Nick. Imi handful for that Aston Martin, and if that's the way that car's going to behave with full fuel, it's going to be a very, very long race for Imi Alonso, currently in 6th position. Tormund Kills sector 2. Ferrari looks nice, nicely balanced. Yeah, it just looks like a much smoother car. Any car at the moment looks like a smoother car to drive than the Aston. So a bit of a concern, bit of red lights flickering for the Aston team tonight. Only one driver tonight, so they need to score points if they want to keep in contention with the Constructors' Championship. And this will be our last season before we break for Christmas, so then we'll start racing again next year. Let's see, Tolman. Yeah, just get a lap time up at 1:16.305, so that's good by him. So hopefully, I'm going to take a short break. Everyone is starting to retire in the pits, and I will catch you as the guys go out in qualifying 3. Right, if you just joined us, welcome to Season 12. It is round 2 here in Imola. Dynamic weather waiting for us, and you can see the clouds forming in the distance. So not as nice and blue as it was earlier during the session, as we followed Nick Gishan, our reigning world champion, out of the pits in the Mercedes, which is, I'm not sure if that was a sponsor deal to get him out of Red Bull. But yeah, winning the championship last season with Red Bull, so great stuff from Nick. So currently had a difficult week last week in the main event, but sprint went according to plan, so all good signs for the Mercedes team. I see a couple of guys joining, so pretty sure Arno will be back. I'm pretty sure that Bob will be, and then also one of our new drivers. So hopefully we can get everyone in for the race, give everyone time to select their setups, and yep, don't ready up yet. Wait for the guys to get going. Just common courtesy. So everyone on an outlap at the moment trying to hit their tires. Everyone on the softs, it's going to be probably 2 runs in qualifying 3. This is for pole position. And I'm not sure if you want to start in pole with the drag down to turn 1. You might just be a sitting duck depending on your launch. But yeah, maybe 3rd is the way to go for the start of this race. But yeah, you can't determine that, as you cannot determine the score against Scotland and Ireland this weekend. So hopefully that will go South Africa's way, so we can find ourselves into the quarterfinals, and then take it from their big game against France, probably, if everything goes according to plan. So everyone on an outlap at the moment, 0 to cool, is on a flyer, the same as Nick Gishan. 1:14.2 was the benchmark in qualifying 2, the same as in Q3, and that was set by Josh. So early warning signs for the guys around him in the Red Bull. And yeah, the only guy still in the pits is Boinkies, probably just waiting for a bit of track evolution, maybe don't want to burn all his tyres. It's going to be interesting to see what tyre choices the guys pick during the race. If it's going to be the soft mediums, is it going to be the medium hards? Are we going to have any safety cars? Is there going to be any red flags? We haven't seen any red flags in FTR since the red flag was introduced in the new game. So we'll see if that's going to play a role, and we'll see if we can get up first. It's not something that we want, but yeah, we haven't had one. Josh invalidating his lap. So for 0 to cool, looks cool as a cucumber through this section. So let's see with the McLaren driver. So we expect anything below a 1:14.2 to be pole. That was the benchmark. 1:14.7, already a big improvement by 0 to cool. And talk about big improvements. 1:14.653 by Nick Gishan. Mega lap by him. Emil Alonso and a handful Aston Martin. Let's hope that they sorted out some of the issues in between the qualifying sessions. Still see the Aston Martin being a bit wobbly coming out of the corner. Can't get the power down on that Aston. And it's not just that, it almost looked like there's no turn in on that Aston. So yeah, hopefully it's a driver feeling thing at the moment and not so much a setup. But yeah, a 1:15.1. So Emi battling to get himself into the 1:14s. Tormund kills on a lap as well. Shakes on a lap. He's in sector 1. Tormund kills going to cross the line in the Ferrari. This will be his first lap time. Benchmark 1:15.9. So also not the cleanest of laps for him. So he's going to hope for some kind of improvement during his second run. There's only probably going to be 2 runs. I don't think we'll get to 3 runs. Although this is a very short lap. Not as short as Austria with the 103s, 104s. Oh, and a big moment there by Shakes. And just getting way out of shape coming into that corner. So he's got it all to do. You don't want to bank this lap and pop into the pits, because if you mess up your next run, the pressure is a lot. So rather get a time on so you can judge your delta. It just makes it easier to go faster and faster. So you don't want to jump into the pits, and I don't think he's going to jump. No, he's not. He's going to carry on with this lap. So let's see how much that time. Yeah, that probably cost him a good half a tenth. So 1:15.7. Also looking to get into the 1:14s. And I say that Josh 1:14.302. That's a good 3/10 faster than anyone else around him. Boinkies, Ronald, he's also on a lap. He's going to come across the start-finish line in a couple of moments to set his first banker lap. And for Boinkies, that is a 1:16.579. So the only guy who hasn't put up a lap time yet is Couture Levy, still in the pits. But it is Josh at the moment with a 1:14.3. And it's a mega lap. It's not as fast as he went earlier. Went into the 1:14.2s. So track evolution not playing a big role here with Josh unless he gets into the 113s, which will be absolutely mega. But let's keep an eye out on his times. Super D is on another lap. He had a scruffy first banker lap, so this is his second lap on those softs, and tires are not going to be in the best condition. But let's see. Wow, 114.294, and that is on basically outlap and 2 flyers on those softs. So mega lap by Super D. Where did that come from? That's provisional pole for him at the moment. And if you look at the times that were set up in Q1 and 2, it's very close to what we probably expect. I don't think we'll get into the 113s, but we're going to get very close to a 114 flat this evening. So good lap there by Super D. Torment Keel's putting himself up into 6th position with a 115.420. So Super D slightly out of sync with the rest of the drivers, but that's normally a good thing. He's got plenty of time to get back to the pits, put a new set of rubber on, although he does a bit of corner cutting there, which is not necessary. He's got enough time. But yeah, he's going to head off to the pits. Torment Keel's just put up these laps. So it's half a tenth up, so it looks like there is 2 laps in these softs. I'm not sure if the guys are pushing as hard as they should on lap 1. Maybe getting the tires to temperature is a bit of a problem at the moment. Sacred is also on a lap. He's 2 tenths down. But I've got a funny suspicion he had a big moment somewhere, and probably is going to make up for that. So probably scruffy last sector. Nah, he's going to go into the pits. Couture Levy hasn't set a lap time yet, and he's trying to save some tires. He's only going to do 1 run in Q3. So everyone heading back to the pits. Imi going out very soon. This will be his last and final run in the Aston Martin, and yeah, with all the issues that he's been having with the handling of that Aston, a 115.1 is nothing to be shy of. So that's a really good lap time with a handful Aston Martin underneath him. But yeah, you'll see the guys start popping out around about 2 minutes to go. It is a very short lap around here, so expect the guys 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes to go to pop out like ants out of the pits. But it is Shakes. He doesn't want yellow flags, he doesn't want incidents, he really wants to get on with it. I really just want to follow Imi around, so if you are watching, I'm going to keep quiet, put your sound up, and let's go on board with a lap with Imi Alonso here in Imola. Yeah, pressure a bit too much there on Imi. So once again, the handling of that Aston just does not look like it where it's supposed to be. So he's going to abort that lap. And let's just see what else is on the lap. So Couture Levy is currently, he's invalidated his lap, so he's going to have to go again. That's the problem with having only 1 run. And Boink is getting nicely out of the way of everyone. So I just want to see where Zero to Cool is currently on track. Nick Gishin is probably going to be the first to cross the line, so we'll hop between him, Zero. Yeah, so let's follow Nick around. So Nick's got, what, 4 tenths to find somewhere, our reigning world champion. He needs to find 4 tenths, which is a lot around this track. Yeah, if you a tenth a sector, and yeah, it sounds as easy as that, and you're 3 tenths almost there. But it's obviously not that easy. But there is time to gain, but that means pushing. Normally with pushing comes either mistakes or a mega lap. So let's see which one it's going to be. Is it going to be mistakes, or is it going to be a mega lap by him? Very close to his sector 1 time. So 500s off his sector 1. Car in the way, but that's not going to hinder him too much. Gets nicely out of this. It's probably going to be a purple sector 2 again for Nick, because Nick is really flying around in sector 2. Yeah, purple again. And he's got that, yeah, it's a couple, it's not even half a tenth up, but hoping for a really good sector 3. And I'm not sure where he's losing the time. He should know by now where he's losing the time. You can see that's really pushing 50 seconds. This is the make or break lap for him. This looks really nice and tidy. So is he going to gain at least 2 or 3 tenths? And there we go, a 1:14.6. So he did improve, not by much, but definitely hooked up in sector 2. My word. 0 to cool crosses the line. Improved slight 1:14.668. So a slight improvement from him. Shakes is invalidated. Sacred is not on the flyer, so is Boinkies. Super D, let's just see. So let's see if he's going to improve in the house as the McLaren gets out of the way. So currently he is in provisional pole, and you get the feeling that the only guy who can chase him down is probably Josh. So let's see. Oh, a 10th and a half up in sector 1. My word, are we going to see our first 1:13 tonight? That's going to be one mega lap by the Haas driver. As he swings it in here. Runs nice and wide, but didn't stay in 6th, which is the first time I see that. Let's see what sector 2, if that was a planned 6th gear, or if that was a mistake by him. Yeah, lost a 10th there, but still half a 10th up. That will take him to a 1:14.250 if he can finish the lap. And then we'll jump on Josh quickly. So Josh is a purple sector 2, taking that away from Negishan. So let's see, these two guys very close proximity of each other. Super D is going to cross the line first. This is the final run. And what is this going to be? It's a 1:14.288, very slight improvement. But Josh is almost 3.5 tenths up. I'm not sure if that is right, but let's have a look. He's going to get a nice slipstream from the car in front. A 1:14.0. Can you get any closer to a 1:13? Great lap by Josh, and that's, yeah, that is pole for the Red Bull driver. Puts daylight between him and the rest of the guys. Short lap, almost 2 tenths between him and the rest of the field. So mega lap there. Super D, great lap nevertheless in second. Once again, I'm just going to take a short break when I finish the rundown for you. Josh in pole with Super D in second. Nick Ishin in third, so Nick Ishin and Josh fourth for the World Championship last season. 0 to cool, good fourth for him, a 1:14.668. Then we've got Shakes, Emmy, Handful there for the Aston, Sacred in 7th, Tormund in 8th, Boinkies in 9th, and Gatu Levi, no time set for him, and he's all the way in 10th. Right, so the guys will do their tyre choices, pick their race strategy, and I'll be back for the formation lap. If you just joined us, welcome. You're just in time for the start of the race this evening. It is round 2, season 12 here at FTR. We're in Imola and you can see dark clouds looming above. And this might just be a little bit of rain later on. Imola is known for rain. So Josh is on pole, taking his form from last week into tonight. He's currently in the World Championship, so Super D joins him on the front row. Negation and Zero to Cool on your second row, followed by Shakes and Emi, the handful, Aston Martin on the third row. Fourth row, Sacred and Torment. Then you've got Boinkies, Couture, Levy, Shane, and then we've got the drivers joining just after load shedding, Arno, Bob, and Big D Mac. You can see everyone is on mediums except for Boinkies, wants to start on the softs. So I'm going to try to find a good angle here. There we go. And it's lights out here in Imola as the guys get ready to start. There's always a slight delay with Codemasters, and we're going, and there was a pointy Red Bull on the side there. Good start by Negation, and I'm going to get on board with them to see how things go. And yeah, good start, and that is a virtual safety car, and that is Torment Kills. Now what happened to Torment? Spun out, no wing. I'm not sure if anyone else has got damage. Boinky's all the way at the back as well. Looks like Torment, yeah. Boinky's, yeah, definitely collision between the two drivers. So Boinky's is going to have to come into the pits on those softs. He's going to have to put on a new set. Torment Kills doesn't look like there's any damage on that Ferrari, so he might be able to continue. Let's just have a look at Bob. Everything good. Shane made up a couple of positions. Big D also a couple of positions. Safety car yellows, full course yellows still out for the drivers, so stick to your deltas. They're actually going to get a drive-through penalty, which you don't. And the virtual safety car should be ending quite soon. Clearing the debris from the front wing of Boinkies. So his strategy starting on the softs, making inroads early. That's gone out of the window. You might as well put some hards on and see if you can stretch it to the rain comes, because I definitely think there's rain on its way. The guys getting very eager here, trying to stick to their deltas. So full course yellows still. It's Super D leading lap 1, starting lap 2, followed from Josh, from Nick, from Shakes, from Zero, and then Imi. And yeah, there we go. Full course yellows is gone. And that was a good pass there by Shakes on Zero, so, or not a pass, but good defending by him. And there's a train of cars forming at the back here, so we'll put our focus slightly onto the front runners. Although I really want to get on board. There's a good exit there by Imi. Is he going to go around the outside of Zero to Cool? Yes, he does. Gets the traction that he wants. And that's a place made up from Imi, so he's up into 5th, chasing after Shakes in front of him. Oh, big snap again. This Aston is just such a handful at the moment. And that looks good from him. So Sacred, Big D, he's already up into 8th position. So good inroads there by him. He's not going to get points for the Mercedes because he couldn't select a car. So he was swap around. Let's just see Arno Gous is in the Red Bull. He's supposed to be in the Mercedes. He's currently in 10th. So last point scoring position is Couture Levy. Boinkies did jump into the pits. He put on a set of mediums. So he's going to take it on from there. So a lot of close laps. Super D fastest lap of 1:18.576. Followed by Josh, followed by Nick. Shakes across the line. Emi, Zero. So they're all in very close proximity. DRS not enabled yet. It will only be enabled on this lap. So the guys will get it the next time they hit the DRS zone. So we might see a DRS train forming here. Ooh, and this is nice and tight from Arno and Torment. And it looks like Arno defending well here, currently in 10th position from the Ferrari of Torment Kills further down the field. And then a big gap to Couture Levy, who's decided to go into the pits. New nose cone for him. So he's decided to go for the hards, the same as Shane. Not sure if there's an incident between those two drivers. Nevertheless, they're going to join at the back of the pack, as you can hear. And there's another caution, and I'm not sure who that is for. If someone is going slowly, Does look like someone is going slowly. Right, and that's Boinkies. He probably retired in the pit, so that's an early retirement for him in the race. As Stormont gets all squared up behind Arno Gous here. Shakes on the gearbox of Nick Gishen. So yeah, he's top 3 guys, top 4 actually. Nick having a look on the inside there with Josh, but almost got caught out by Shakes at the back here. So Shakes looking racing. Imi doing his own here, staying with these guys in front. And I don't think it's easy for him keeping that Aston on track. So hopefully he doesn't exceed too many track limits to get himself into trouble. But at the moment there is a DRS train, so yeah, from first everyone is actually really close, and then a big gap to Shane and then Couture Levy. But anything can change for those two drivers. Safety car might just change everything for them. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Dustin's on the chat saying good luck, Mr. Gish. Yeah, Dustin, nice to see you again. And supporting the Gishen, our reigning world champion for Premier Division. He's currently in third. And looking quite dandy in the Mercedes. And how many times have we seen this? And that's another yellow, and that looks like... Is that an Alpha Tauri that went off track? It could have been. I just want to see. Shane looks all good. Couture Levy might have just been off track, or it could have been Arno. Let's just have a look at Arno. Yeah, Arno went off track, and that's going to be a new nose cone for him. So full course yellows for Debris on track. He's going to jump into the pit. So Arno's on the mediums. He's probably going to have to go to the hards now and take it from there. And Regan is also on the chat saying, Super D, come on, legend. Yeah, Super D, how many times have we seen this in Premier Division? With Super D, Josh, Nick is in the top 3. So softs for Arno, so he's going to go different. He might go soft until the rain comes, so he probably knows something from his race engineer that everyone else doesn't know. So still virtual safety car. Drive-through penalty for Zero to Cool for speeding under the virtual safety car. So yeah, he's going to have to serve that drive-through within 3 laps after the safety car's ended. So that's going to hurt him slightly, but full course yellows are gone and we're back racing again. And good awareness by Josh, Nick and Shakes really to stay within each other. But yeah, when is... I don't think that's if the rain is coming anymore. I think it's when. We're going to try to get on board with a couple of drives to see if we can see some spots of rain. Currently it is Super D from Josh, so he's going to get DRS. DRS will be enabled. And Josh is going to get DRS. There we go. DRS is open. He's probably just going to... He's quite happy just to stick. Maybe he's going to go past Super D this time around. Get Super D to get some negation. Following them closely, also getting, I think, DRS assistance there. So keeping nice and tight with these guys. Shakes also all over the back of the gearbox of the Mercedes driver. Currently in 4th. Imi still within a second with a very difficult Aston Martin. So hats off to him for keeping it on track for so long. Then a bit of a gap, but Bob did make up. Bob started at the back of the field. He's already up into 6th. The Sacred in 7th. Big D also at the back of the pack. And he's currently in 8th. 1 retirement point is in the pits. We've had a couple of yellows because of Arno Gous. And is that going to be a pass? Yeah, a good pass there by Tormund Kills on the inside of Big D. And the Couture Levy passes up a 1:17.491. So, finding some space. Oh, big moment. And that's Tormund. That was, I'm not sure if there's any damage. Looks all good, but yeah, full. It will be a yellow sector for him. And there we go, he gets going again. So Zero is going to catch up very quickly with Torment here. So Torment, a big spin there for him. He's got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Not sure if he has got some kind of issue. Maybe we'll just duck into the pits, put some new boots on, or might just retire from the race. So not sure if there's underfloor damage or if there's... I don't see any damage on the front wing, so not sure. But yeah, there we go. It is going to be Zero all over the back of him, and that is Zero up into 9th. And he's going to start 15 seconds behind Big D, so he's going to start chasing after Big D. So the gap now between Shakes and Imi has opened up to 1.2 seconds. That was expected, with the Aston being a handful. Still Josh from Super D from Negation. And that's... Is that again a Ferrari? Of Torment kills, yeah. That's again the Ferrari going off track. Just bringing out brief yellows. But he's back on track and he's going to get... yeah, he's going to have Arno and Shane very quickly on him if he continues with this 4.6 seconds. The gap, Shane chasing after Arno. Shane and Arno both on hard tyres at the moment. And it was 0 to cool and 9th at the moment. Did serve that drive-through penalty. That's why he's all the way there. Shakes on Super D. So Nick also joining the fray. So Shakes got past Nick, chasing after Super D. Now Josh has made the break 1.6 seconds. So he's off into the distance. Almost like a Alvaro Bautista in World Superbike. Pulling, once he's in front, he just pulls gaps. So Alvaro doing a good job at the moment with SBK. Right, and Nick's still keeping in contention with these guys in front, so not letting them go. That brought Imi, that battle slightly brought Imi within DRS range again on the Aston. So Imi keeping touch with him, then a little bit of a gap. Ooh, and as I say that again, the Aston just a handful. And Bob's going to be very quickly. And that is a move. Yeah, it is Arno, Torment and Shane getting very close to each other here at the back of the field. So they're battling for the last point scoring position, which is Shane at the moment. Currently in 12th, Arno in 11th and Torment. And as I say that, Torment just gets out of the way. I'm pretty sure there's some damage on that Ferrari, maybe underfloor or something. So we expect probably Torment to jump into the pits. But this is good. This is good. Ooh. Oh, and slight touch there between Negation and Super D. It's not the first time we see those two drivers getting up close and personal with each other. And an incident there, so I'm going to leave that for the stewards. I don't like calling these things. But yeah, that's unfortunate for Super D. That drops him all the way into 8th, and he had some mega pace. So yeah, with all this hectic things happening at the back, Josh has pulled the gap now to 3 seconds over Shakes from Nick. And that will be referred to the stewards. So just keep a reminder on that Negation and Super D will be under investigation probably after the race. So there might be some late penalties coming during the week for those two drivers, depending on if it gets reported. But at this point in time, it's just noticed by us. Emi Alonso 1.5 seconds. Bob, yeah, Bob on the inside. Yeah, gets that done nicely. So Emi's going to get the DRS. I'm not sure if that Aston's got the straight line speed at the moment. Definitely a handful for Emi. So he's going to get DRS. It's not actually Bob gets the DRS by doing the overtake before the DRS detection zone. So that's Bob into a safe 4th for all the way from the back of the grid. Big D all the way from the back of the grid, also in 7th at the moment, 1.7 seconds behind Sacred. So Emi 7 seconds between him and Sacred. So here he's got some opportunity. And after Super D's spin, this is the battle between him and Zero. But Zero staying in front in 8th. All on the medium, so we'll see when they come into the pits. No drops of rain yet on the visors of the drivers, so not sure when the rain is coming. There is definitely rain in the air, so I'll have a look and see if that works out for Shane on the hard, as well as for Couture Levy to bring the pack closer. But it is the battle for 8th and 9th at the moment. That's probably your closest battle, except for Bob catching up with Negation very quickly. So Bob having a mega race here, and he's going to get DRS assistance. So let's see if this is going to be an overtake for the Ferrari driver. You're going to see Nick weaving around slightly. He's probably not going to do that too aggressively. Yeah, there we go, the DRS, and that is on the inside. late braking. Yeah, that is Bob through on ignition. So that's up Bob up into third. Nick in fourth now. With Imi still at the back there, 1.5 seconds away from them. But it is Ferrari against Mercedes, and we haven't seen this a lot of in recent times here at FTR, but this season we are, which is great to see. We obviously see that a lot in real F1, with Red Bull running slightly away with everything. Race control, Shane's getting a 3-second time penalty from the stewards, so he's on the board with a 3-second time penalty in 10. And I'm going to take a short break before we head off to pit stop window time, and I'm going to stick around with Bob, and yeah, let's follow him around for a couple of laps. Lap 13 of 32, almost through halfway through race distance, and it's going to be interesting to see when the guys are starting to pit from the mediums onto the hards. Arno is currently on the softs, but he's out of sync with the rest of the drivers because of the incidents that he had. So Couture Levy and so Shane Terra, all of them slightly out of sync because of incidents in the first 3 laps, having to pit for new tires and for new front wings. At the moment, Nigishan did get that position back, and I'm glad I focused on Bob because he got the position back and he's up into third. But expect another overtake, another position change probably on the start-finish straight, as Bob will get DRS 0.8 of a second, so he's going to get DRS assistance again. So let's stick on board with Bob to see how much he gains. No, he decides to go into the pit, so he's going to take the gamble, try to get the undercut with Nick. So lap 14 seems to be the lap that the guys decided, and that's definitely going to be hards. Is that hards? Yes, it is hards for Bob. So he's the first guy on the front runners in the top 5 to make the decision to go and pit, and he's going to try to undercut Nick. So it's all about what lap times Nick can start putting up now. He was 0.8 of a second behind Nick before he pitted. He's going to come out slightly in traffic. He's got 0 to cool in front of him. He's got Sacred. It's probably not going to hinder him too much. He's about 3.9 seconds behind 0. By the time he catches him, 0 is probably going to pop into the pits. So I don't think it's going to hinder too much for Bob. But what does Nick do? What does Shakes do? Josh, I think he doesn't have to worry. He can just react to Shakes probably. But yep, the big thing is what does Nick do? And what does Shakes do? Do they try to cover off that undercut that Bob is trying to do? we'll keep an eye out on Shakes. Let's see if the Alpine driver is going to pit this lap. Are they going to fall for it? Or is he going to stick out maybe 1 or 2 laps? No, he decides to go. And I bet your bottom dollar, yeah, Nigishin also into the pits, and that's probably going to be Imi. He stays out, so Imi decides, look, I'm going to stay out and have a go at this. Let's just see where Bob is currently. So Bob is going to come through the final section now. Let's just have a look. Nigishin coming out of the pits, so is Shakes, and Bob is on a start-finish straight. Let's just have a look with Bob. He's going to come out. Yeah, undercut successfully done. Gets him much closer to Shakes. Although Shakes has got some traffic with 0 to pull in front of him. So a good pit strategy there by the Ferrari, trying to get past Nick. And did so well. 2 seconds the undercut was worth for Bob. 0.8 of a second behind Nick before the pit stops. And 1.2 seconds now ahead after the pit stop. A good pit stop there from the Ferrari team. So they got that spot on in the game. Don't get that normally right in real life. It's normally a head-scratching Italian pizza in the Ferrari garage. Yep, the only runners 0 to cool still needs to pit. So does Big D. So is Imi. And Josh. Josh, our race leader, into the pits. He's not too phased. He's going to put on new hards. And he's going to be comfortably back into the lead again. Imi also into the pits. Big T, we'll see if he jumps into the pits. Bottom dollar that he's probably also going to jump into the pits, the same as 0 to cool. It looks like lap 14 is the time to go. Yeah, Big T into the pits. And yeah, 0 to cool also into the pits. And here we go, Bob. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Bob getting past Imi. And there we go, 2 seconds now the gap between Bob and Nick. So it's almost back to level playing field again. Josh into the pits 5 seconds ahead. So he's increased that lead by 2 seconds through the pit stop window. Bob getting extremely close to Shake. So very good pit stop window for the Ferrari team. Nick losing a lot of time in the pit stop and the first couple of laps on those hards, trying to get them to temp. Imi in a safe 5th at the moment. Shane in 6th. Sacred lonely 7th with Arno behind him. Arno's been on 11 lap old softs, so those softs must be out of proportions at the moment. So Arno's going to have to pit. So he started on, I can't remember, I think on the mediums, and he went softs. So he's probably going to go hards now. So the medium softs is probably trying to get him to that pit window of the hards. Big T in 9th, but he will move up into 8th. The same as Super D after that incident earlier. And then Zadi is also in the chat. How's it, guys? So how's it, Zadi? And nice to have you. And I was saying earlier, if you watch the stream back, the Aston Martins took a handful. And the teammate, Imi Alonso, really battling at the moment to keep that Aston on track. And not sure if it's set up or maybe just not the rhythm tonight for Imi. And hopefully that doesn't carry over to tomorrow night Division 2, because then I'm going to have a torrid time in the Aston tomorrow night. So hopefully it's not an Aston thing. So as things stand at the moment, lap 17 of 32, just yeah, we've gone past half distance in this race. And it is a Josh comfortable lead from Shakes. Bob still behind Shakes at the moment. And it's going to be interesting to see when Bob does decide to pull the trigger and try to get past Bob, or past Shakes, to see if he can. Onocho is getting a 3-second time penalty from the Stewards. Nigishin still keeping slight touch. Made up some time on the guys in front, so this hard's coming in nice for him at the moment. 1.7 seconds. It was over 2 seconds earlier. And yeah, Bob now within DRS range of Shakes. They're all more or less on the same tire lifespan. DRS on the Ferrari is going to open. There we go. And I'm not sure that's going to be close enough to make the pass into turn 1. I don't think it's going to be enough. No, it's not. So Shakes doing what he needs to do to stay ahead of Bob on this occasion of the lap. And further down the field, let's just go further down. Big D is currently chasing, yeah, there we go, Arno into the pits, 12 lap old softs. Those softs are done and dusted. And Super D on Big D, both of them got DRS. Is Super D going to go around the outside? Yes, he is. And that is Super D up into 8th position. His teammate is further up ahead by 3-4 seconds ahead of him. It's Sacred in 7th. So we'll see if there's any team orders there with Super D and Sacred. I doubt it, because this is only round 2. Everyone is good in love and war. We also see an overtake there. It's Katua Levy on Arno Gous. So Arno with brand new mediums. Arno can get to the end on those mediums. So if there's a safety car now, these two guys in 11th and 12th will be in a very pretty position with those mediums. Yeah, with what, 10 to 13 laps to go. Yep, no safety cars yet. Lots of virtuals, but no safety cars, no red flags. So still no red flags for FTR. Not like we're hoping to get them, we just haven't had one. So it would be exciting to see if we do get one during the season. Oh, the big mistake there from Shakes as he came out of the corner, ran wide. Probably got off throttle not to get the time penalty. But this brings Bob very close to Shakes. Lots of dirty air there, but he's much closer than what he was earlier. So probably 2/10 closer. I don't think it's going to be enough to get him past Shakes at the moment. And it goes up to 0.7 of a second again. So Shakes just doing enough at the end of sector 3 to keep him there. So it looks like 0.7 is basically the margin that you need to have to be in control and be ahead. It's getting very dark and gloomy here, so not sure when the rain is going to come, and if it is, definitely looks like there's rain on its way to the mountains here in Imola. So that is probably our closest battle at the moment, except for Zero to Cool. Zero to Cool. Is this going to be an overtake on Big D? Yes, it is. So Zero slots himself up into 9th. He's obviously got some time penalties that he's trying to negate. So he knows what he needs to do before the end of the race, trying to secure this position on paper. The stewards have given him a 3-second time penalty. So let's just, while we're at it, let's just look at time penalties. So it's a 3 seconds for Arno, 3 for Zero, 6 seconds for Super D, so 2 track invalidations there for him. And also 3 seconds for Shane and for Ine. Right, so Shane needs to duck into the pits. I don't think he's going to do another, 12 laps on those halts. So Shane needs to still pit, and that will drop him all the way to the back of the field, probably just in front of Katua Levy. So that's going to be, 11th for Shane, if he comes out of the pits. Probably hoping for a safety car. Safety car, yeah, get him into the pits, and then he can put some new boots on. Zero to Cool really pushing in the McLaren at the moment. You can see him jumping over the curbs, losing the rear slightly. And he's chasing after Super D at the moment. So he's 2 laps younger, Hearts, which I don't think is going to make a huge difference at this stage of the race. Bob still 0.5 of a second behind Shakes and still can't get past of Shakes at this stage of the race. And Nick's still keeping himself in contention. He's keeping that gap nice at 2 seconds. But it is Josh who's pulling a Max Verstappen on himself. He has 6 seconds the lead now. And really just keeping it nice and tidy, finding his rhythm. And doing everything that he's supposed to be doing around Imola to stay ahead and keep that gap constant. Right, so Super D on Sacred. Yep, that was the inevitable move. So Super D is on Sacred and Zero to Cool. I tell you what, he looks mega on these hards. He caught them very quickly. Looking very comfortable in the McLaren on the hards. Maybe the tyre track temperature has dropped also, which makes it slightly better. You can see Katua Levy running slightly wide there into the downhill right-hander. That's going to bring Zero close to Sacred. He's going to get DRS, but so is Sacred on his teammate. So if the teammate's going to play a bit of a trick here, they know Shane's going to have to pit. There is probably enough time to catch up with Imi. So it will be a good recovery drive from Super D if he can. But there we go. So it's going to be DRS all around. It's like brandy all around for everyone. And yeah, he's a bit too far behind. The guy also in front, the guy in front also having DRS. So it's going to stay as it is. Sacred and Super D just keeping on each other, but great exit. Are we going to see an overtake here somewhere from Zero? Is he going to fling it out on the inside? Yes, he. Nicely thought of there. So let's stick with this battle because you just get a sense of it's only a matter of time before Zero to Ghoul gets past Sacred, and once again he looks very comfortable on the hard at this stage of the race. Right, so it is Shane that's keeping being the bottleneck at the moment, the cork in the bottle. He's on 20 laps all hard, so he's going to have to pit sooner than later. As Arno and Post gets another 3-second time penalty added to his race. Oh, big moment. And you can see the right-hand side of these hards of the McLaren is taking a bounding at the moment. It's just not going to be enough for the McLaren driver to get past because the two Hasses is just keeping each other in DRS range. So no way through this time, bar 0.4 of a second. He also hasn't found a way past Shakes at this stage. So it's all a good 8 seconds now, the lead between Josh and Shakes. So a very comfortable drive. So that is Shane into the pits. Yeah, he comes out just behind Couture Levy. He's going to put on soft. So expect a fastest lap coming from Shane. And if he gets this right, he might just get Arno before the end of the race. But there's 8 laps to go on the softs, definitely doable, but expect him to be rapid in the last on this next couple of laps on those brand new softs. Right, is this the move that we were waiting for? It is Zero to Cool on the ooh, and yeah, that might. So both drivers getting in each other's way there, and that promotes. Yep. So Zero to Cool not wasting any time here. Let's just see where Super D is. Big D almost was the biggest winner on that incident. He almost got past both of them in one shot, so he's feeling quite excited in the Mercedes. If you can get past Sacred. So yeah, a bit of an incident there, but let's see what happens to the rest of the race. And already a gap forming, already almost a second between Zero and Sacred. So he's got now 5 seconds to claw back to Super D, where he was like a couple of seconds behind him, maybe a second and a half. So that incident didn't do him any favors in chasing down Super D. All of them has got time penalties, so he wants to open it up. And Big D didn't see that, unfortunately, and apologies for that. He got past Sacred. Have a look and see if Sacred can get past the Mercedes. And he's got DRS. He's got a little bit of recovery system to his disposal. Is that going to be enough to get him past the Mercedes? I don't. Yes, it actually is. So hello, straight line speed. He's going to go around the outside, doing it nice and clean, giving enough space. Good driving by Sacred. Good driving by Big D. That's his first race here in FTR for Big D Mag. So well played to him, leaving space and not getting tangled up in anyone. So good stuff by him. So the gap's still Petrol bottom dollar, Big D is going to come back at him. He's going to try to stay just in contact with him. It's going to run slightly wide there as the dirty turbulent air gets onto the front wing of the Mercedes. But yeah, 0 to cool, 6.2 seconds behind Super D, so he's lost a lot of time. Imi in a safe fit, I would say, at the moment. Bob still not getting past Shakes. But yeah, you just get a feeling that it's just a matter of time with 6 laps to go. I'm just going to take a short break, and then we'll see if Bob can make any inroads into Shakes and secure second for tonight. Right, in my short break, big drama here. Nick Gishin has crashed out of Imola, and that's brought out a safety car. So what do the guys do? So Josh Shakes, who's the closest to the pit? So Emi is slapped on soft. So wow, that might just be working for him. Zero to Cool's also into the pits. He's going to slap on soft. So Super D, Big D Max going to put on softs. Sacred decides to stay out. Shane is also into the pits. Oh no, he's probably going to go into the pits as well. Is he? Yes, he is. So depending on how many softs you've got, this might just bring Imi back into place. So safety car will stay out, what, lap 30, lap 29, lap 30. We'll start racing again lap 31, 32. So we'll have 2 laps after the safety car. But yeah, that's unfortunate for our championship or reigning world champion Nikishan. Just losing the car. And unfortunately we didn't catch that. Right, so Bob into the pits as well as Shake. So they had enough time to react. I don't think Imi's going to... No, Imi was too far behind, so he's not going to jump anyone. Obviously, have to stick to the Delta. So the top 4 is all changed. So Sacred is the only one who hasn't changed tyres. And, yeah, that's not going to be good unless he's got 19 seconds between him and Zero to Cool. Stopping under a safety car that will give you half it. So yeah, he can still pit on softs and get in front of Zero to Cool most probably. So let's see what Sacred decide to do. If the has got a pair, even if it's a used pair of softs, he still stays out, he still doesn't go in, which is quite weird. So this will probably be the last lap under the safety car, and we'll have lap 31 and 32 under normal racing conditions. Right, as predicted, safety car in this lap, so we'll have 2 laps under racing conditions for the final 2 laps of this race, lap 30 out of 31. So we're gonna stick here with Shakes just to make just have a look at the restart. So Josh backing the pack up. He is in essence now the safety car, and he can determine the pace that he wants to do. So the front car decides what he wants to do. And we'll see when he pulls the trigger. 2 very good friends in the front here with Josh and Bob. Are they going to try to protect themselves against Bob here? Sorry, Josh and Bob, good friends, trying to protect themselves from Shakes. And not sure if Shakes is going to be close enough to do anything around this time. No, probably not. And yeah. So Sacred, let's just have a look and see what Sacred can do. So he's on those hards, Zero to Cool on the soft tires. He's going to get superior grip, so this is probably the corner that he needs to do it. Goes in on the inside, flicks it on the inside, hugs it nice and tight, leaves space for Sacred, and that is true. So Sacred 1 position down. Big D Mac is next up, and there's a chain of cars forming behind Sacred on those hards, and they're just going to come past him. Super D has passed. Big D Mac is probably, or Super D is going to get past very soon, and then followed by Big D as well as Shane. There we go. Ooh, and that is Sacred. Yep, losing the hards there, so he's down into 10th. And with all these penalties, it might just play in the role of Big D, because if he can stick close to this, once we have a second, they're a little bit far behind Zero to Cool, but yeah, more penalties might come our way with guys pushing in the last 2 laps. But it is Josh from Bob from Shakes. Let's see if Shakes is anywhere closer. It does look like he's closer. This is the final lap, so don't think he's going to have the oomph to get past. No, he's not. So, yep, Shakes has had a torrid time last season, so might just settle for 3rd. So look, I'm going to keep the pressure on you, hoping you make a mistake. And let's see. Shakes is really putting the pressure on Bob here. Imi fought with that very difficult Aston Martin, so great job by him, although he's got penalties coming his way. Same as 0 to cool. We've got a good view of the drivers in front as well, so let's see if 0 to cool's got anything left in the tank. There's nothing for Shake, so he's very close to the moment. Is he going to have enough? Oh, is this going to be a photo finish? Hopefully. 0 to cool, another 3-second time penalty. That's going to hurt him very badly at the end of the race. So it is Josh, though, that's going to take the checkered flag from Bob. What a close finish it is. Shakes in third. And now penalties are going to start playing a role. Imi in fourth. Big T jumps into fifth. 0 to cool sixth. Shane, a good recovery in seventh. Difficult race for Super D after that incident in eighth. Arno Goes, difficult night for him in ninth. Couture Levy in 10th. And then Sacred, my word, hard, did not pit whatsoever. And finishes in 11th. Your driver of the day, yep, Bob came all the way from the back of the grid to finish in second. What a drive by him. So good stuff by Bob. And let me just run you through our final standings before I say good night to you. There we go. It is Josh on the top podium step with Bob. There we go. Great racing by these guys. So it's Josh from Bob from Shakes. Imi, wow, what a good drive by him, ending up in fourth. Big T, first race of the FTR, great race by him, finishing in fifth. 0 to cool, penalties killed him down into sixth. Shane, good recovery from him to be in seventh. Super D in eighth, difficult night for him after that incident with Negation, didn't recover really well from there. Arno Goes in ninth. Couture Levy in 10th, and then Sacred in 11th with the last points. Safety car brought out by Nick Gishin, and then Tormund Kills also retired from the session. Boinky's retired in a bit, so 3 retirements tonight. A couple of safety, or 1 safety car, a couple of virtual safeties. But yeah, that's it from me. Josh winning in Imola, round 2 here at FTR on season 12. And yeah, I will catch you guys next week again. I think we are off to... I can't remember. But yeah, so catch tomorrow Division 2. I think it's 0 to cool in the comms with Nikishan. So yeah, join them tomorrow night and support Division 2. From my side, Avi, let's have a great evening and have a good sporting weekend. And we'll catch up next week. Ciao, ciao.